This truck just turned in from traveling, like going this to my right. Let's see which way he turns, because I know he turned in here just to stalk, just like they've sent teams of 2 again and again and again. They're pissed that I'm willing to sit here on this cement. So he turned left, making it appear he just used it to make a U-turn. Possible, but unlikely. These people would have me to just have absolutely nothing, and that's going to be very evident in all the findings. This is under heavy investigation, and the spirit world is manifesting, like I'm manifesting it, but the spirit world is like working all the details out, and it's going to be quite a miracle when everything is discovered, how in depth these people were willing to make me be their unknown sacrifice. Like, I didn't know what was going on. All these people have been viewing my naked body, me and my, there's a certain term, and it came out in one of the tarot readings. Can't remember right now. It was a word I wasn't familiar with, but it's like when you believe you're alone, even right now, like the backup, that's because I'm recording. Like, that's really, when you believe you're alone, and you know, whether you're undressing, doing anything sexual, bathing, those kind of things, like there are times, obviously, and in places like your own home, or even a public restroom, but this was in my home, you know, and in the hotels I've stayed in. This has been going on my whole life. My family sold me out and are part of this corrupt group, which many would maybe refer to as like basically some kind of satanic group, but it's actually like, because Jesus is a very dark entity and not what we've been misled to believe. Many of these people are Christians, but a huge amount of corruption is coming out, and the things I've endured, you know, a lot of it I was able to endure because I didn't know it was a whole big plot. Think that, you know, I've only been filled in the last couple of weeks that this is like a worldwide, every single person, like, okay, not every single person, but like adult wise, like at least in Virginia, like this is pretty much every adult in Virginia. This is going into all the world, but it isn't everybody in the world. There are other people who are like myself, who are not into black market porn and cannibalism and pedophilia. Thank God. I mean, you know, the gods, which I'm one of, you know, and it's like we're misled about what is true in the spirit world, but the spirit realm has been communicating with me increasingly so since I walked away from an abusive marriage and started doing a lot of work. A lot of root work was done intentionally to kind of have me always be separate from like kind of like who I am, and stay in a place where I was like in turmoil internally, and a lot of it connected to like sexuality. So like there are verses in the Bible where, you know, it really did allow for marital rape, and I didn't believe in marital rape because the Bible said my body belonged to him, and if he wanted to do what he wanted to, then I was supposed to be okay and submit to it. And all of these things that I had to like walk away from, even when I still believed that, I finally left. And then it was revealed to me that I was married to a serial murderer, that it's a false marriage. But I never could imagine that so many people in the world are like him, and that this has been like a huge scheme, and that's where the spiritual side of it comes in, because this is really entities from another realm living inside the bodies of all these people who have decided they would, create this fake, like, greenhouse kind of life for me, and everybody I would be in close proximity to would be watching me naked and are vampires, child molesters. They're into human sacrifice and eating the flesh and drinking the blood. Without that, they have no life in them, but they're filled with a dark entity or dark entities. One of the names of one of the dark entities is Jesus, and the Bible is the book of the elites, and this is real deep. But the thing is right now, everything is under investigation, and so many things have been revealed to me, and I've been documenting that on my channel. But these people know that they're going down, and they're pissed. They're pissed that they can't kill me. And so what they're trying to do is pretty much like, they think they can like torment me to the point where I'll take myself out, but I will never ever do that. And they have no power over me. They have no power to take my life. And so what they're going to do is, all they can do is annoy me, pester me, try to take away, me being able to like sit somewhere, because I'm unhoused right now, but I shouldn't be. I'm a freaking queen, and energetically I'm very rich, and that energetically is all that really matters. And these people have been siphoning and stealing, and it's been revealed to me someone who was trying to attach themselves to me, which is a lot of people, but Alito Melton is perhaps the lead of this group. And I don't know for sure, but all of it's going to be coming out, all the details. And so they send people in to stop me constantly, day in and day out, even when I'm in the bathroom. Like, I am unhoused, so I have to use the bathroom, like at grocery stores and stuff. And, they have the security people are low-key bullying me. Oh, you're here again? Just harassing. And it's like, I can endure this, but it's really fucked up. Considering all that they've done to me and that I have overcome them, they still won't, if you want to say give me my props, they still aren't like, okay, reluctantly, like, okay, yeah, you're free, you won, you're right. They're going to be like, just sending in people constantly to just try to wear me out, wear me down. And the thing is that I've already beat them, and I've already come through so much. And when I meditate and when I think about all that they have done, it's really a lot to even think about how many people have like seen my naked body, watched me in black market porn, and it's like enormous. Like, it was very successful apparently, and my false husband that they set me up with, of 28 years and 11 children together, 2 of which have been murdered, other miscarriages and stuff have been done through magic, and these people are really sick. But like, all these decades, including starting in my home as a child, they have put me in child pornography, and so basically, like, it's really a lot. When I think about like all these sickos, all these people like staring at me like on the bus, it's like, it's women too, and it's men, and even if they are handsome, it doesn't matter. It's like, this is sick, it's sick. And it's like, they want me back in the position where I had been, where I was not awake, I had no clue what was going on. I knew I was in a bad marriage. I was kind of stuck in that marriage because of my belief system. I kept looking for help. Pastors and their wives and everyone I would go to was actually a vampire and part of this group. So they would encourage me to stay and try harder and be more submissive. And if I would just blah, 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 blah. And all of it was a huge trap. And so I really have come out of so much. And all that I have come out of, and everything that these people have done and continue to do, every last bit of it, my ancestors tell me, every last bit of it is going to be disclosed. There is nothing that's going to stay hidden. And many people have killed themselves. Many more probably should. it is going to be highly embarrassing. These people actually eat human, and they dismember people, and there's other people like myself that they set up into like this, secret scrutiny, is secret not security, but surveillancing them in their homes, in your most private moments, where you should be able to, undress, wash yourself, have sex, and not be of course, not be a public display. And then people get their kids into this. All my old friends, all the friends I've ever had in my whole life, which makes sense now why they never really supported me. But all of them were vampires. And then I've gotten names of some of their children, but they get their children into this pretty early on, actually eating human and drinking blood. And it gives you an electric feeling. I have experienced the feeling 3 short times in a 5-minute period, just because I was so desiring to understand, how could people slaughter humanity? How could people do this? How could people be how can so many people be pedophiles? How can they do this? But it gives your body an electric feeling, and it's probably stronger than any drug. And I don't think anybody should take up, obviously, doing this, but I do understand the drive. It's but really what's happening is, probably not right away, but over time, these people get more and more and more possessed by these dark entities who are really my enemies from some other place. And I have defeated them. And so this is very much a spiritual thing. But on the physical, all of this is coming out. Earth is going to be really different. We're going to find out that a lot of the places that we trusted, stores like Amazon and Walmart and many others, and then other businesses let's say hospitals, that they've been doing a lot of really corrupt human trafficking of varying sorts. But when Amazon says more than a truckload with a smile, it's kind of like a crooked smile that does the A to Z. It's with this part this here. There's a really dark, hidden, in your face kind of hidden. You can see it if you see it. If you don't, you don't. But we're going to be finding out all of these things. People like the Mennonites that dress in calico dresses and long sleeves and pants, and find everything wrong with the popular culture, are actually really high-ranking warlocks and witches who have slaughtered so many people. And this all started for me. It started before I was born. These people could sense my energy signature was very strong, and that's why they created this whole false world around me. But for me, this started in leaving a really awful marriage that now I know is not even a legitimate marriage. And then I had a vision in real time of one of the Mennonites. They all were standing around, but the one in particular was the bishop at a church I attended for so many years, that these people I know well, but I apparently don't know them at all. But they were beheading a woman, and my dream wasn't very long, but it was just the beheading. But it was revealed to me that these people actually, with the Bible, how it says, unless you drink the blood, eat the flesh, and drink the blood, you have no life in you. So it's it's kind of like narcissists in a huge amount of the population, and they actually to have a falsified persona that's believable, where with the Mormons and Mennonites, it looks like they're just a blessed people, and many other groups. It's because they're constantly offering blood sacrifice to dark deities like Jesus. And all of this is coming out, and it's really a miracle. It's a miracle I've survived. It's a miracle what I have survived. and everyone's going to know. And anyone who, you know, you would have to be real stupid to not understand. It's going to be so clear, the manipulation, like hospitals and insurance fraud. You know, they don't have our health really in our best interest in mind. This includes all the military. I've been given like friends who were either military or their spouses were military, and we were military wives in the same area. Like this definitely includes every place I've ever lived. So that would be like Sicily, which, you know, you think of the mob, but this is the mob. It's all like the secret societies all linked together, and it's all like the mob, and the corrupt cops and all the police and all the military is all corrupt. It's all about human trafficking, pedophilia, and cannibalism. And these people are just constantly harassing me at this point, but all they can do is look on, and I have already defeated them. All of this is coming out. Today is June 24th. I've been writing poetry, and I know that they know that I like to have some alone time, but obviously nobody wants anyone stalking them, and there are laws in our country that, you know, obviously we're not supposed to stalk people. The thing is these people are so corrupt. They'll act like I'm doing something wrong if I'm sitting in the grass and it's, quote, private property, right? Or it's like, you know, it's like judging me by this crazy, you know, this bar where they're the reason I'm homeless. They're the reason this. They're the reason that. They've done all this stuff to me. My naked body is like out there on the dark web for decades, and then it's like, oh, you're sitting in the grass. You're not allowed to sit in the grass. And it's like, so I have a storage, and so then they have people rent the storage across and beside, and they come and they're loud and they block me, and they, you know, they snoop, and they don't want to let me, you know, they instigate, they're trying to rage bait. But I'm very level-headed, and I'm not taking the bait, but I do stand up for myself. But spiritual judgment is here, and so many people are condemning themselves because, you know, these people who like play in my face and either act like they don't know anything about what's happening to me, or they don't know who I am. You know, people will just blatantly lie, but they're actually trying to rage bait, or they're trying to just try to get under my skin, just try to, you know, make me very uncomfortable. They're hoping so uncomfortable that I would kill myself, because that's the only way I won't be here, is if I would take myself out. But I would never do that. And any quote thoughts were never thoughts, and I knew that they were. I thought that when I was a Christian for so long, I didn't realize that my false spouts, or that he was false, but I didn't realize every person in my life, like adult-wise, was actually a warlock or a witch, and that they were doing a lot of dark magic, including voodoo. They had voodoo dolls with me. This is including enormous amounts of strangers, and it's pretty much like really massive in my home state of Virginia. But it's also, oh, here's another one peeking around the corner. Let's see what you got to say, because I know you don't own this gas station. Looks like he's trying to jack off. I don't know what the hell he's doing. Well, I'm not trying to zoom in on his crotch, but let's zoom in on the license. UEY 7947. Perfect example, though. I'm just going to show you, this is an abandoned gas station. These people don't have any business here, and they have come to, in some way, before he realized I was filming, to some way harass me, bother me. These people, when I go to like walk, because I don't have a car, you know, I've been left with absolutely nothing in the physical, but that's not what I deserve, and that's not matching my energetic signature. These people have stolen from me, and they want to continue stealing from me. I am the reason that there are many people like Beyonce and Oprah are the ones I know about that are famous and rich and quote successful, but not on their own merit. On my soul star that's been stolen. Carry your ass, motherfucker. You know you don't have any business here. You're going down. You're going down. This is like ridiculously huge, and when I go like walking to Kroger, they'll have so many vehicles like on this certain side road I turn down. I've actually stopped turning down that road as much, but there's a sidewalk, so it's a little easier than the main road. There's no sidewalk, but they'll have like all these people like just you know, hey, like men will try to talk to me, or people will try to ask me for a cigarette, or oh, can I talk to you for a minute? And you know, I don't know what I'm like. I put my hand out and I'm like, no, but they already know, and they know I don't smoke, and they know I'm not interested in any of these men, and just like they just constantly, and so like they send in some, they send in another, and then they're constantly watching me, and it's like, even like right now, there's in these parking lots surround, whether it's probably some over here where this crew is working on restoring a building, probably some in that Enterprise parking lot, probably some in that coffee shop that is never actually going to come be up and running, just so they know, because their end is before that. Anyway, there's whatever, Geico, small business, there's some other businesses, but they're all around me, and I don't know who's what yet, but like this is the way they do. They have people planted here, there, and everywhere. So like when I actually get up and put my shoes on and take my bag, and I'm gonna go wherever I'm gonna go, and I don't know yet where I'm gonna go, but they'll have someone at this place, you know, all the points that I, you know, left, right, north, south, east, west, they'll have someone everywhere, you know, except, excuse me, there's a fence here, but like wherever I'm gonna go, there's gonna be somebody, multiple people. And like if I go to Kroger, and there's so many people in the parking lot. There's people on foot, there's people on bike, there's people, you know, in their cars. There's people actually at Kroger, because I have gone there so much during this time that I've been unhoused and living in this area. There's people there like all the time because of me. There's people who've come from out of state to try to kill me. Lots of people. They are just relentlessly, but that's all they can do. All they can do is look on. I'm your star. I'm just not your porn star anymore. I never consented to anything like that, nor would I have. So really it's wonderful in a way, because instead of just, there was a time where I realized, I was being told by my spiritual team that like my ex is a serial murderer. He's actually married for money before. Now, I wouldn't have thought I had any money, so I wouldn't have thought, it wouldn't have made sense to me at first. I'm being told he married me for money, but it's like this whole huge scam, and it has to do with my family. None of my family, like none of my adult family, like my mom, my dad, they might even be my real family, I don't think that I was abducted, put into like a false adoption. But I believe in heiress, but I have money on like a physical level, but I also energetically am very rich. And if these people had not done what they've done all these 40 some years of my life, I'm 47 right now, if they had not done what they had done and set me up in this like Truman Show kind of thing, I would be, you know, let's say a billionaire on my own merit, by my singing talent or my writing talent, or a culmination of all my talents, or a product I would have invented, or whatever, because I am just naturally very creative and very rich. And so they have set me up, and they have like stunted me, and they have done so much magic, dark magic to kill me, death magic. I have like literally been fighting demons for so long, and I have defeated all of it. I have come through all of it, and I hadn't even known why. I did, especially when I was a Christian, then I did used to wonder, like, why is everything so hard? Why does it feel like after I get through one battle, like maybe a son died. I didn't know he was murdered by his my own family, but I know that now only intuitively. I've only been given like these informations like in a intuitive, psychic way by my spiritual team. But back when I was a Christian still, I would have felt like I would have been more in that kind of begging prayer, but I would have been like, why is everything just seems so hard, just so much? But it was so much. It was so much. It was so much that these people have tormented me. It's literally slavery. And many of these people are black. And my husband, my false husband, is black, and my kids are mixed. But this is plenty of white people too. But that's the thing is, it's like slavery never went away. No one ever came in Egyptian times. Moses never came. Nobody ever came and set the people free. They've been doing this since Egyptian times. That's why the pyramid is on a dollar bill. That in God we trust is not any God you want to know, have anything to do with. And anyway, all of these things that are coming out, like, it's really wonderful on a broader sense when I can pull back from, I have done a lot of healing work. I have forgiven when I had no idea just how, I couldn't have known how extensive all of it is, but there are people just relentlessly still pursuing me. And maybe there are some who have, thrown up their hands and like, okay, wow, we just can't take her down. But there are other people who are more foolish, coming in from other states and stuff, and they're like, well, I'm going to try to kill her tonight. Well, I'm going to do this. And they all plot and scheme. Like, let me blue van that just pulled, and they see me with my phone, but they just pulled in right behind that bush. They're not going to the Geico, and if you looked at it, you would see, like, it doesn't make sense that they pulled there, except that they're stalking. It's like they're obsessed with me. They want to watch me. They want to know what I'm doing. It really is like a love-hate, but it's not love. These people don't know anything about what love is at all. Yeah, I should keep my phone out all the time and be recording. The bigger thing is that a lot of people who are still being trafficked are going to be set free, and then a lot of people who have been murdered, their bodies are in rivers weighted down at the ankle, and in other places. But we're going to be uncovering an astronomical amount of human bodies. There are many children, like the whole Alert Amber is actually a government way of like stealing, kidnapping children. Like, they do it on purpose. And with the way Walmart posts, and maybe some other stores have done this through the years too, but the way Walmart like posts the teens, a lot of times it's teens that are quote missing. It's like, that's really them like almost putting on like a glory, look who we've murdered, look who we've eaten. And that's how these businesses and or people succeed. That's how they keep like their business or themselves, like that's how they keep thriving. It's through blood sacrifice. Like, I've prophesied Walmart will be out of business before a year is up from today, June 24th, 2026. All Walmarts. Fresh to frozen here, Virginia Slate, and I would venture to say all Kroger's, but I'll say at least the one here in Midlothian, where at least I know 2 of the managers are part of this. But this whole area here, the like tri-state area, Virginia, including DC, like all of it's going down. This includes like all government. This goes into all the world, and like some people have referred to Earth as a prison. I mean, it's more than a state, but like, I don't know honestly, but it's even come to me that possibly where they Bohemian Garden, where they do a lot of huge sacrifices, is like at the North Star. There is only one pole, it's the North Pole, and the Earth is like flat, but like a watch, you know, like an old-fashioned watch. Like it's like a circle shape, but you know, it has like our face, it has mountains, and you know, it has divots, it has lower places and stuff. It's not just like flat like that. But there is no globe Earth. There is no we've never gone to the moon. The moon is actually a flat disk and fixed, which the Bible says that too. Anyway, where the North Pole is where they do a lot of sacrifice. I don't know if this is going to be so big on a spiritual sense that the sky as we know it is going to open, like the firmament's going to open up, and we're going to have like more access to like more, because this is much more than Earth. But it's not the way that they teach us. It's not the solar system and the teachings in the modern like schools with the globe Earth and the certain like Saturn and the different planets, supposable planets. Like Earth is not a planet, and all of that's a bunch of crap. And we've never gone to the moon. The sun is not like, it's about 5 miles away. It's not these billions and all of the billions and stuff. Like when the billions are in my account, we'll know that's real. But otherwise, like when they use really big numbers, like it's usually there's a lie somewhere. So it's a huge taking down of America. It's a huge taking down of human trafficking, which includes so much pedophilia, but cannibalism. Like these are some of the most despicable things. Murder, cannibalism, pedophilia. I can't think of anything worse than those 3 things. So everything that I've ever gone through, I'm okay with now, that I had to go through years and years of being just faced with one destructive thing after another, and wondering like why I felt forsaken. You know, I felt like I must be unlovable because no one does love me, but no one did love me except for like my younger children. Many of my children have joined this group. It was known on an energetic level that I was someone who could shift the way things are here on Earth. They have gone to great extremes to stop me and to harness my soul star, which is like our sun, like it's like who we are shining. It's who we are, you know, stepping into all of our power and who we are. They have done everything in the world to me to not let that happen, and I still overcame. So right now, all they can do is, you know, send in the stalkers, try to stop me from having a nice, peaceful day, and I'm not taking the bait. And I'm also using, you know, videoing and audio recording as ways to document what they're doing. There is an investigation going on already, and this is enormous. I have like complete confirmation that this stuff is coming out. Like there is no more on my part. There is no more like, what if, you know, I won't ever get my kids back, and what if 5 years from now I still don't have my kids, and those kind of thoughts don't exist anymore. I have been given such confirmation, like judgment is here. It is. Like I might still be unhoused. I might still just be sitting here on the ground. Oh, that's so bad. Shot up my legs. But it is. And so the people who continue, they're just really stupid. But these people are stupid because like any of these things, whether it's murder you choose, murder, pedophilia, cannibalism, it's all kind of rolled together in this blood cult. This is what they do. It all kind of goes together. They harness the energy by having sex with children. They harness the energy and have an electrical field by drinking the blood and eating the flesh. And then they slaughter their victims, obviously, because there are people, they don't slaughter and that they video and get off like they have me, but by and large they like have to keep slaughtering people. And this is just so people can have a false persona to like have their successful business. This includes like all the people that we would say are rich and famous, all the, you know, Elvis, the Beatles. It's all the music groups. It's Christian music groups and secular. It's all the movie stars. Nicole Kidman. She's a Kidman. She likes kids. Tom Cruise. Think of Tom like cat. Cat Cruise. He's cruising through the cats of children. Cat meaning twat, like your pussy, right? He's cruising through. There's been like tons of names that have come to me and I'm like, oh my gosh, like Drew Barrymore. I can't think of them off the cuff like this, but there have been different people where I'm like, well, it isn't going to be this, and then I'll think about it, some you know, movie stars kind of name, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. Let's see. I'm not gonna be able to do it while I'm trying to. It's gonna come to me later. I'm gonna start writing them down though when I get the downloads of the different names and what it is, but it is wild. It is wild. So some could seem like they shine. They really have talent, right? The Bible says, take this talent and give it to another. It's slavery, bondage, it's corruption, and it's coming down. And so obviously I must have signed up for this, and this is destiny. It's a fated event that all of this turn around, and the earth will no longer be this like kind of puppeteering slavery environment. So me working through and doing all this, like for some reason, like I'm the one, and this responsibility, unbeknownst to me, relied on me and my spiritual team. And really, like I said, only in the last 2 weeks has it been disclosed to me that this is like everybody. This is every adult around me. This is everybody knows who I am. I'm already a world-renowned star through black market porn. I would have had no idea. And it still is like kind of surreal. It's like, how could this have happened? How could this be, you know? Like my house looked like a normal house that I lived in, you know, like, and I had thoughts of cameras, but I thought maybe the government just put cameras like in through like the smoke detectors, kind of what I thought for a long time. But anyway, they use, you know, the people you're closest to, and they don't do this to everybody. They only do this to someone that they feel is a real threat to their like simulation illusion system. It's the quote in the Bible, the beast system, but the Bible is their book, and the Bible is a trap. It's a mental trap. If you follow it and believe it the way that you're supposed to, if you're a Christian, which I had, it will have you sacrificing yourself every day. And when I stopped being okay with being the sacrifice is when I refound my life, my purpose. And then after that, it was revealed to me in stages, through visions, through just downloads, like that Tracy has murdered before, like they were trying to kill me. I fled. There were people that I didn't know that had showed up at my mom's house. My mom and my nephew were there, and I was instinctively guarded. They were in the next room over, and I know Christian had a blade. They were going to kill me. And so I did not go through into the main part of the house. I gathered a few belongings and I fled to a hotel. I couldn't believe that it was like 40 cars at least following me. That was going back probably 2 years, but to me that was so crazy and caught me like out of left field, because it was like something in a movie, like a chase scene in a movie, but I didn't know I was a star in this movie of this crazy shit. And so I'm thinking, it was even like a white lady in one of the SUVs, and I was thinking to myself, like, what have I done that anybody would be like chasing me to kill me? Like, what? I haven't harmed anybody. I'm just not that kind of person. And it was like, and I also don't hang out with like, or I didn't think I hung out with anybody who's like, like on the drug scene or like criminals, known criminals. But apparently that's all I've known are criminals, cannibals, pedophiles, and murderers have been the only adults I have known. Wild. It's wild. So yeah, there's gonna be a movie, there's gonna be books. It's wild. But better yet, more important, innocence reclaimed. And there's a song, and I think a lot of songs are being shown to me that they are speaking about this nasty stuff and glorifying in it. There's a song, A Return to Innocence. That song? I might be getting it wrong somewhat, but they're not talking about a return to innocence the way that I am. They're talking about returning to it to like get high. So like on the larger scale, there's a lot of trafficking we're going to be finding out about. This is going to be the biggest of it, and then it's going to lead to other even more. And so basically it's like Earth is going to be getting like a whole new start. Like it might happen in stages. It's not going to all happen in one night. My success, my fame, I'm already famous in this by these crazy people, but my fame across the world will happen overnight. And me being led to start my YouTube channel, I would have known about none of it. I only would have thought that I was one person leaving a really long, yucky marriage, and I wanted to help other people out there. I didn't know that I was a writer. I've always been different. I've never fit in. And now that it's been revealed to me, like everybody I went to school with, like this goes real, real deep. It's real dark. It's like now I can finally say to the spirit world, which isn't, I'm not talking to Jesus because that's a dark deity, but I'm like, I'm so glad that I was never accepted. I'm so glad I never fit, because now I realize it's been revealed to me, everybody I would have ever tried to find acceptance from, love from, they were all so corrupt. They were all, including all my family, every friend I've ever had. Friends from childhood have been given, the actual names have been given to me, but like, it's wild. It is so wild. And so for the magnitude of the change for Earth, I'm glad. I am okay with all that's happened. And it really is showing me, like, I'm an ex-Christian and I'm spiritual, but even like the spirituality kind of stuff, it's like, so like I'm what a fortune teller really looks like. Not like the head garb and the certain look. And I wear earrings and stuff like that. I've been told to throw all my stuff out lately because people have been hexing all my stuff. But like the typical look of someone who's spiritual, all of that, like most of those people are part of this kind of thing. And they only have a persona that they care so much what someone else thinks of them. And that's the thing, I had to get to where I didn't care what anyone thought of me. Before I realized any of this was going on, I had to do a lot of healing work, and it really was all rooted in like acceptance of who I am. And I, could never have realized this crazy of a thing. This is really wild. And if I had been a writer trying to write a book and I came up with this, they would be like, no, we like things that are, somewhat believable. Like, that's how crazy this is. So it's been like confirmed to me, like, smile, cheer up, because like the worst is over, which was so many years of such a hard life, so much just fighting and so much despair and just fighting what I would have perceived to be the devil, but it was devils. I didn't know that people were purposely sending me dark attachments to try to, you know, conquer me. But choosing myself and accepting myself. So now I've stepped fully into my power, and my spiritual team has filled me in little by little as to not overwhelm, I believe. And also, like, if I had to know, let's say for the last 2 years, that the whole world has been able to view my naked body, I mean, that would probably be a lot. But now I'm only getting filled in, like I said, about 2 weeks ago with that, 2 to 3 weeks ago. But now it's like the threshold of like real change being visible on a physical level is like so close that it's like, and I've already been like given just so many confirmations, like there's nothing that can change the inevitability of this all coming out and how huge it is. It's like I was told, you know, maybe a year ago, like things are bigger than what you perceive, but now I'm starting to understand how much bigger. And it might even be, like I said, that like the sky's gonna open up and we're gonna have more access to like more of what's really there. I don't know about that, but so these pathetic people that are cannibals, pedophiles, and murderers, they come and, you know, they pull up and they ask me this and that, and they try to, what they're trying to do is they're trying to get an attachment. And if they could get an attachment, if I would be like willing to date them or willing to, you know, be close friends and chummy and whatever, then they could try to like attach to me and start like using magic to like siphon and take and steal and not let my new beginning take place. But I'm not gonna let that happen, and that's why increasingly so I was made aware of like, okay, like, you know, maybe I was being chummy with some people and I was just being friendly because I'm a friendly person, but like then it was showed to me like they actually are part of this. Like it's every single adult that you're coming in contact with. There is no adult you're coming in contact with that is not part of this in this area in Virginia. And when that was revealed to me, I've really pulled back with being like, I probably have still been pleasant and even nice, and I'm not going to be gross. Like if I'm getting a coffee somewhere, I'm not going to be like, you're a murderer, blah 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 blah. I'm going to say thank you, may I please have this, you know. I'm going to have manners, but I'm no longer willing to, like, me and Anna were talking, she works at Starbucks, and we were talking about going to like the beach together, and I was considering to allow her to be in my life and be a friend, and it was revealed to me that she, no matter how she appears, that she is one of them, and she's actually actively trying to get me murdered. And so it's like, okay, now I haven't said, Anna, you're a murderer, but I have written a poem. I've written 2 poems now. My first poem was much more merciful, and my second poem was once it was revealed to me that she was actually like getting another person involved to try to take me out, at the same time playing in my face like she's my friend and trying to hug me. So there's no more hugs, and there's no more, I really am still quite pleasant, but there's no more like, my eyes aren't being covered up by wool. Like I see you. And same thing with Alito. Like there's a big backstory there, but like the part of me that wanted to hope that my dream had meant something and he was my soulmate. I believe actually he was my soulmate, and that he knew very well who I was, and he was supposed to join me, and we were supposed to like do this together, and he didn't think that I could do it alone. And so he led me on in the astral realm. He led me on, and we were having sex in the astral realm. And to me, that had been like a confirmation that we are soulmates. But what's really was happening is he's possibly the lead of this group. that's hard for me to believe, but maybe. But he's a dark warlock, and he, has been like viewing my porn for years, and he knew the whole system of, he's part of this group, so he knew all about what they were doing to me. So they knew, like, on a spiritually wise, they knew who I was when I didn't know who I was. And so, like, any feeling I felt for him was like through dark magic. And so he had gotten an attachment to me because I was very interested in us pursuing our life together, right? But I wasted well over a year. But even in more recent time, there would be like almost like an unsureness. Well, maybe I should, or maybe blah, 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 blah. And I finally, there was a couple times where it was like a demon was coming to me with an offer, and it was like, it felt like Alito. And then that's when it really dawned on me, I think, that Alito's working with demons. Like, he's definitely not a good guy. And any part of me that thought he was a good guy, and that he was being deceived by this dark group, that they were using him. But actually what was happening is that he, like, openly was being used by them. Like, he is a lot like me, like, energetically, but he went to the dark. He embraced the dark on purpose. I went to the dark somewhat in following Jesus, but very unaware, very, very not meaning to, because it's disguised as truth, and I had believed the Bible. So really, it hasn't been very long at all that I'm like, absolutely not. I am not interested. I don't want you. And I've done cord cuttings. I've done cord cuttings with demons that were coming to me like as Alito. So it's almost like Alito is working with these demons. I'm going to call them Lucifer Jesus, but maybe they're called something different. I don't know. It's all a little bit kind of crazy. It's true though. And so because of my story and all that, when people see like all that's been done to me and that I'm still alive, that I lived through that, and that I was getting all these downloads, whether it's dreams or visions or just understanding, being open up to me in all these different ways, people are going to believe in, if you want to say God, but I would say gods. But it isn't at all the way that we have thought. And it's really about, like, our purpose here on earth is to, like, develop our star, like, to shine as brightly as we can, to step into, like, who we really are, all of our quirks, all of our things that set us apart and make us different. And we're not all supposed to be cookie cutter, not at all. So if you're anyone who, like, has ever despised uniforms and really just, maybe your self-expression includes your clothing and stuff like that, like, we're supposed to. That's, and so it's really something beautiful happening, and it's really wonderful and wild, and it is going to be heart-wrenching to find all the bodies and to see what people are willing to do just so they can be perceived as a good person. But I am very thankful that all of this has been shown to me, and yeah.